What happened, Mom? He asked, looking at her sad face. Thank God, you remember that you have a mom, she said, which made Jungkook smile. He hugged her. He knew his mom can't be angry with him. Mom, sorry. Actually, I was so busy in work and I didn't check the time, so that's why I'm late, he said, and his mother hit his shoulder. Yeah, I know. Yesterday, you said the same, Mehak said, and looked at Jungkook, who chuckled. I'm hungry, Mom, he said, and she smiled. Go, freshen up, and I'll serve the food, she said, and he nodded. Jungkook walked toward his room, while Mehak went inside the kitchen and started taking his dinner out. She started serving on the meal on the table when she saw Jungkook coming down from the stair in white trousers and red t-shirt. She smiled, looking at her handsome son, who was looking too attractive in his rough look. He took seat and served his plate. He started eating while she took seat next to him and started watching him. I want to talk to you, Jungkook, Max said, and started the conversation. Yes, Mom. I want my son to get married, she said, and he looked up. So, Jimin is ready? He asked, and she looked at him confused. Jimin? She didn't understand him. Mom, you said that you want your son to get married, so I'm asking if Jimin was agree or not. Jungkook calmly said, and Mehak narrowed his eyes at him. What? Okay, so you want Namjoon to get married. I don't have any problem, he simply said, and again started having his dinner. All the day he was busy in his meeting and presentations that he didn't get time to have the best lunch. Now, when he started, all his favorite food on the table is increased, and now he was fully doing the justice to the meal. Jungkook, my eldest son name is Jungkook, and I want him to get married, Mehak said. But this time, Jungkook didn't say anything. He just kept eating. Mehak was waiting for him to say something. Jungkook, I'm saying something, Mehak said and looked up at her. What do you want, Mom? He asked with a smile. I want my son back, who lost himself behind his files and work. Son, I want you to be married, she said, and he held her hand. And you think, by doing this, I will forget my passion, Jungkook said, and toward my boy, he asked politely, looking at his mother. I just want my son back. And yes, I think after marriage, at least I can see my son at home on time, Max said, and Jungkook laughed. You really want me to get married? Jungkook asked, and Mehak nodded. This will give you happiness, he asked again, and Mehak smiled. Of course, I'll be happiest person, Mehak said, and happy, and smiled, looking at his mother. Okay, he said, and again starting eating his food, while Mehak was looking at her son shocked. He agreed, Mehak thought, and looked at her son, who was smiling. Cook, are you serious? Mehak asked in disbelief. Of course, Mom. For you, I can do anything, he said, and Mehak smiled happily. So, what kind of partner do you want? She asked, and he dropped the spoon and turned to her mother. Just like you. I want him to be just like you. Loving and caring, Jungkook said, and Mehak kissed his forehead. Then, I will find a boy for you which will make you fall for him. Mehak said, and she saw her son was smiling shyly. Okay, Mom, you keep thinking about your would-be son-in-law. I'm going to sleep, Jungkook said and got up. He walked toward the stair, and his mom calling him. And my son, you start dreaming about your would-be wife, they said, and he turned to his mother. You're making me impatient, Mom, he said. And then Mac giggled while he laughed on his own word. Mac started cleaning the table with a huge smile on his face while he walked toward his room with a huge grin on his face. Mac didn't know that it would be so easy to make Jungkook agree for marriage, but she was happy that he agreed on marriage and was happy about his wedding. As she completed her work, she walked toward her room and saw her beloved husband waiting for her. Where were you? You know I can't sleep without you, John said and hugged her from behind. She looked at his reflection in the mirror and back on him, patted her head on him. I love you, Max suddenly said while stared at John. Not bad, Mr. John. You confess always remind me that I'm still younger and have a loving wife, he said and kissed her cheeks. She blushed and turned to the face. His arms were still around his waist, holding her closer. She encircled her arms around his neck. Jungkook agreed, Max said, and his eyes widened. What? He almost yelled. She put his hand on his mouth. She smiled and removed slowly her hand from her face. She was smiling, and he was narrowing his eyes playfully at her. Cook is ready to marry, John. I'm so happy, she said, and he smiled. Her heartbeat increased. His eyes were making her blush. I gave you the idea, right? So, what will I get? He said, and bring her more closer. Her eyes lower down. He can make her feel like all the butterflies in her stomach. Her cheeks flushed red, and he was enjoying her condition. It's been 27 years of their wedding, but they were still young for each other. Their love was the same young. He kissed her forehead and then moved to her cheek. As he kissed her cheeks, I like it to see those colors in your faces. He whispered in her ear, and she smiled. John, she called him, who was lost in the hug. He just hemmed in closing eyes. I'm so happy that our son agreed, she said, and he could feel the happiness in her voice. Me too, John replied. What about the boy? We have to find a suitable partner for our son, Max said, and he nodded. Both parted and looked at each other. Yes, a boy who can make and win my son just like you want me, John said and kissed her forehead. So the bride hunt started, Max said, and he nodded. Yes, from tomorrow we are going to find our Jungkook's bride, John said and both smiled. Of what, Mom? You put in my mind. Jungkook was changing side again and again, but sleep was far away from him. He sat up on the bed, removing the blanket. His thinking was roaming around his mother world. Keep dreaming about your would-be wife. Mom, you just gave me such stupid things. He talked to himself and drank the water he thought were roaming around the boy, which her mom was going to choose for him. He would be wife. I was so good with my files. Then these thinkings like this, I can't sleep. Jungkook just forget everything and sleeps. He said to himself and lay down again to sleep, and this time he succeeded. The coming life was going to bring a time which was going to make Jungkook sleep with someone thoughts, a love rings, which going to change his life. Mary was going to take him to next level romance, a love he never thought.